If you manage a mid-size internal medicine practice, you already know that the clinical mission is getting buried. The sheer weight of documentation and inbox management has overtaken the actual practice of medicine. AMA data shows for every hour of direct patient care, physicians spend 2 hours on computer tasks. Furthermore, 2024 congressional testimony revealed internal medicine residents spend 40% of their time logged into computers. Nationally, that adds up to American physicians collectively logging 125 million hours of documentation strictly outside of standard office hours. Those after-hour sessions are driven by the specific demands of the specialty, gathering the right clinical criteria, coordinating specialist referrals, and grinding through the EHR inbox. Every hour absorbed by a screen is an hour subtracted from a patient. That dynamic creates an unsustainable workflow that artificially caps practice revenue and steadily accelerates physician burnout. Even if you build perfect protocols for administrative tasks, you still need people to execute them. And right now, relying on a local hiring pool is breaking the system. Recent polling from the Medical Group Management Association shows 53% of medical leaders identify finding qualified candidates as their absolute top staffing challenge. Getting them in the door is only half the battle. Front office support staff are turning over at rates reaching as high as 40% in recent reporting periods. The hidden financial penalty of that churn is severe. Industry estimates put the cost to replace a single frontline staff member at $25,000 to $30,000, factoring in recruiting, onboarding, and lost productivity. While that position sits vacant, the operational cascade hits the rest of the clinic. The prior authorization queue grows, vital patient referrals stall, and remaining staff are pushed into expensive overtime. Trying to maintain a traditional, local-only hiring model means accepting constant operational disruption. You are bleeding capital just to maintain the status quo. To fix this, many practices are partnering with specialized healthcare outsourcing firms like Staffingly. The core of this approach is the dedicated virtual medical assistant, healthcare-trained humans who operate remotely as an integrated part of your clinical team. This flowchart illustrates how a dedicated VMA processes a prior authorization. They receive the task, check specific payer criteria, pull the exact diagnostic codes required, submit through the correct channel, and document the outcome. They apply that same precision to referral coordination, closing the loop. Because these VMAs specialize in specific tasks rather than juggling front desk walk-ins, turnaround times are faster. A person who knows a payer's rules deeply is far more accurate than an in-house generalist. There is a trade-off to making this work. Practices must commit to strict digital-first communication protocols. You can no longer rely on walking down the hall and tapping an assistant on the shoulder to get an update. But standardizing those administrative tasks to off-site specialists removes the chaotic bottleneck at the front desk. It allows your in-house clinical staff to actually operate at the top of their licenses. A common concern with outsourcing is workflow disruption, but these remote teams operate directly inside your existing EHR system, following your established protocols. Firms like Staffingly pair this human workforce with AI-assisted smart routing tools to maximize efficiency. Instead of dumping work into a massive general inbox, incoming tasks bypass the clutter. They are automatically routed to the specific virtual assistant who has the exact payer expertise required. The system uses real-time SLA monitoring to ensure turnaround targets are met, alongside continuous calibration tools that adjust workflows based on outcome data, improving speed month over month. This hybrid approach pairs human clinical judgment with automated task routing, creating an infrastructure far more resilient than relying on a volatile local hiring pool. If you're worrying about the time required to manage remote staff, that responsibility doesn't fall on your practice manager. Every account comes with a built-in management hierarchy. A team leader handles day-to-day supervision, while a customer success manager serves as your single contact point. Patient data safety is strictly regulated. The operation holds mandatory HIPAA, SOC 2 Type 2, ISO 27001, and HITRUST certifications. All team members are fully trained before they ever touch a chart. You maintain visibility through comprehensive weekly reports that detail exactly what is pending, what has been processed, and where bottlenecks are forming. True operational control does not require physical proximity to your staff. It requires transparent data reporting and strictly managed security protocols. Let's look at the financial trade-off between the traditional in-house model and the Staffingly virtual model. This chart models the exact difference. Factoring salary, benefits, taxes, space, and turnover, an in-house role costs $60,800 annually. By contrast, a Staffingly virtual medical assistant is a fixed $1,800 monthly, or $21,600 annually. That saves $39,200 per position, a 64% reduction. When you scale that impact across a mid-sized practice, replacing just 3 in-house administrative roles, you are returning more than $117,000 directly to your bottom line. Saving 64% on essential staffing costs directly shifts practice profitability, returning nearly $40,000 per position to your annual budget. The final piece of the equation is implementation speed, designed to minimize friction. Virtual medical assistants connect to your existing EHR and go live in 48 to 72 hours. They follow your established protocols and begin processing work immediately. To remove transition risk, practices start with a 2-week risk-free pilot. You evaluate the real-world results and workflow accuracy before you commit, and there are absolutely no long-term contracts. If the model does not fit your clinic's needs, you can exit without penalty. Mid-sized practices do not have to keep fighting an unwinnable local staffing war. By embracing a specialized remote infrastructure, you can reclaim your clinical hours, clear the administrative backlog, and finally protect your bottom line.